Imagine only being Contenders, not even Overwatch League. I know. So this is, oh my god, Jesus. We're gonna take a look at Salty today. Kind of talk about what's going on here. And I might even get my epic pen out. I know, right? I know. So we'll check this out. And I guess we'll go display capture. Hold up. Whoa. Dude, I haven't seen that in forever. That was weird. Hold on. Okay, let me pause this right here. Before we start, gotta make sure I can write on this. Oh my god. The red thing, dude, that hasn't been around in forever. Okay, this should be good. Alright, good. Yo, Enz, what's up? Your comp def has the advantage here, and it definitely works out really well. Because we push pretty hard the first two. Oh, on my background? I have no idea. I kind of forgot that was actually my background. Hold on. So let me see how they played this here in the beginning. Okay, so they're playing high ground. They poke for a while here. We have a huge advantage here. He plays very slow, actually. A lot of poking. Close on that. Goes into forcing the Pharah and the Mercy off here. We get him really close to being low. He holds his top for a while, though. Especially with a poke comp like this. I guess that kind of makes sense. He drops, rotates. It's kind of a weird rotation. Like, we push really well here first 2 points. We do a really good job here. So I wonder why he goes for... Yeah, but very slow. Salty plays very slow here. Very relaxed. Nothing too crazy. Good job in this. They end up retaking, but we do win the fight, I believe, right after this. Which, they do a really good retake. So, like, as you can see, Salty, when we do this, Salty is very, he's very relaxed with his rotations. Like, even though their team's just getting absolutely rolled, it's very calm composure. Trying to maximize output as they play this. Rotating, you know, when they're losing the fight, he backs up all the way to the corner and just waits, constantly kiting that. Not really retaking. Shield management's kind of weird here, too. Wasting a few rocks. Sees the grasp. Goes on the rotation here for their Reaper. Again, pushes. Yeah. Fortunately, gets booted forward by Optimal here, which works out really well. So I think he does a really good job here. It was kind of a weird push. I don't know why they would run into the hotel there on the raid when they ran this, but kind of interesting. So we actually take a point for from a, this is like the only point we took out of our 2 games. So it was the 1 point that we took off a Contenders team. So I'm proud of it. But we played pretty well here. Definitely a comp diff though. So looking pretty good. Yeah, once resources are down, he keeps going back here. Even though the ball and the Reaper are in there, dude, he keeps going. He keeps going. All the way back. Yeah, all the way back. Most likely on the reset. So, yeah. Yeah, comms would have been nice, but I think you can learn a lot, especially for an individual player. You can learn a lot on a playstyle. Because this is... Salty's a ladder. I mean, on ladder, he's 4,500. And you can take a lot away from this. Especially on Sigma. How relaxed. He dodges Zesty's rock. Makes it barely. So nothing too crazy here. Flashing the shield a lot. coming back on D.Va. This is where they swap for the stall here. They did a really good job on this. So running the D.Va now, which I kind of want to take a look at this, the composition change here. Outside of just stalling it out, let's take a look at what this composition does versus our comp. So obviously the ball is going to be the rotation or the disruption. And D.Va is going to be mitigating the spam because we have a pretty heavy spam comp here with these four plus the Mercy. This is a very, very spammy comp. So the D.Va is picked to mitigate the spam. So we're going to take a look at how Salty mitigates damage with D.Va for a spam composition. Outside of that, maybe peeling for the Tracer and the Reaper for McCree Flash. Outside of that, it's mainly just mitigating damage from spam. So we'll take a look at how they do that here right now. So a lot of frontlining here. Going up into the Mercy here. Having the escape route though, knowing where they're going to go exactly after they fly and engage. Really important here. So focusing in here. Doing a pretty good job. Kind of letting DM probably get about halfway up before using it. So again, not building up too much in the fights. This is interesting. He's holding her on the ground. Trying to keep the DM ready to go once the engagement starts here. Looking to pressure the Pharah or the Mercy just a little bit. Not going to get it though. Again, frontlining a lot as D.Va here with the ball, obviously. Going to have to. Kiting for the window. Trying to get out, hugging the wall the entire way, not even choosing to engage. Kind of relying on the team just to make sure that they live here. Doing a really good job making sure they manage their health the entire way. And trying not to lose too much until they absolutely have to. Really, you can see, that's what I kind of like about it, is that you can see Salty plays their life, like, the entire time. Like, you can see how careful they are. Like, you rarely see them, like, heroing and, like, trying to, you know, fight with their team and, like, do some crazy moves. Like, it's very, like, they do their job, which is mitigate their damage and pressure the Pharah. And then outside of that, it's just making sure that they're not taking any damage themselves. So even though they're, like, a main tank for this composition, they're not frontlining at all. And this is what I feel like a lot of ladder players wouldn't understand, is as a tank, even though you're kind of the main damage inhaler, making sure that you don't take the damage opens up a lot of opportunities for the rest of your team to stay alive as well. So a lot of people might see a D.Va that plays like this on ladder. You might see it for your perspective of somebody not a tank player. If you saw a D.Va playing like this on ladder, you might get angry because they're not playing frontline, you know, and you don't have like a tank presence on the front. But I think this is really smart. The fact that they're, because they can be effective from just about anywhere. It's just, you have to adjust your own playstyle. This is why a lot of players have to realize that if you have a whole entire team that understands the importance of playing your life, you can get a lot done as a team. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting here. I like how they play it though. Very, very passive, right? Because once D.Va takes over that main role, I mean, once her, you know, without DM, I mean, she's just a sponge for whatever. So really, you just kind of have to. It doesn't get the DM off for the flashbang, which is a miscommunication on their part. And I want to see, like, so Salty I think Salty only died twice, right? This entire time? They're doing a lot of this. Keeping that DM on as much as possible. Timing out the fair shots to maximize their DM. Yeah, Salty only died twice during this entire push. His D.Va mechanics aren't very smooth. Well, probably because they're not playing very much D.Va, and not a lot of people are running the spam comp like we ran, so it's probably a very rusty D.Va play. So you don't really realize it. Like, even though it kind of seems like we're rolling him sometimes, Salty only dies twice when he absolutely has to. I think that's a really important thing to realize here, is that Salty plays their life the entire time until they absolutely can't anymore. And it's not really a passive playstyle. It's just like being effective, and then when they're not as effective, like just peeling out of the fight as D.Va, which is really interesting. It seemed very calm. Salty as a player seems very, very calm in how they play this. How's you doing tonight? How's Scrim go, by the way, dude? Freaking Cyberpunk like was malfunctioning on stream, so I'm gonna have to. I think I might just do some single player Cyberpunk, because I don't want to rob myself of the experience just yet. I want to really see if I like the game. Dude, the recording on it, if you look at the end of the recording from yesterday, it was like freaking out on OBS. My game was fine, but on OBS, it was like, I've never seen something like it before. It's so weird. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to judge it yet. I've only played 3 hours on stream, and I think I really need to just immerse myself in it for a little while. Yeah, I don't see anything too crazy. The only thing that I was worried about from Salty was the push, but it seems like a team decision. The push through hotel here on first. Like, look at it. They literally just wait here. It's so relaxed and so calm on how they play this. And only going in when they absolutely need to. Not boostering like crazy. Again, just pressuring the Pharah, mitigating that spam as much as possible, trying to take space while making sure that they still are able to take away the damage. As you can see, they're not really going for a dive with the ball or anything. It's mainly just taking space and mitigating the damage. And then the moment that they see that they're not going to be able to do that, they just peel out. They don't worry about their team here. They go and get their health back. They play their life all the way back here. Now that their team is in, they do a really good job here as we drop down. So yeah, again, Salty not really like making any crazy plays, just doing their job, you know, doing their job, pushing him. He just doesn't seem that comfortable on D.Va. His gameplay seems just about the same as Sigma, so it's and that's the thing is for tank players, a lot of times the gameplay will seem very boring if you're doing everything correctly. It's very boring. The only one I would say is entertaining is like probably Ball is pretty entertaining, and maybe Hog and Ball. They're really fun to watch. Everything else is, I would say, for the most part, very boring, unless you have like a really aggro Orion comp. So I pressure way too early here. They see that, yeah, and just goes for it. I didn't wait at all for that. What's the replay code? I'll share it here in a little bit. Right when we're done here. They push in. The rest of this is just Salty just chilling out. Again, their only job right now is to mitigate spam damage. So interesting they run this. It's interesting they come out of the gate with this and then stick with it, even though we have Ball Sig. So we have the Mei here. I don't believe this is a pretty crazy hold here for a little while. Dude, they were yeah, and they just engage where they need to. And when they need to back up, they back up. Interesting. I like that on the D.Va wall too. That's really cool. Yeah. Again, making sure that they're just not taking any damage, not risking themselves too much. They don't need to. Always having their escape route planned out. Looks good. Not gonna be able to hold that there for too much longer. Kite's all the way back. And we actually get a hold here. I think we only hold this for 1 second though. And then finally they engage. Especially right here. I think we probably played a little too close for this comp, especially with the Reaper and Tracer. So they going for a very hard engage here with the Reaper. Somehow getting that off on Sauce. Doesn't eat it. Optimal making sure they turn around, make sure they don't get headshot here. Finishing up with the melee. It looks like they just cleaned this up a little bit. And then they do that for some reason. I guess because they're 31. All right. Yeah, for the most part, very, very just calm gameplay for the most part. Let me get you guys the code here real quick. Here you go. Gonna write it down.